We have our first, I call it insights. We have 3 insights. An insight means somebody with a lot of experience of something they've done, which is important to us all to share. We'll do that. Very nice of them to do that, so thank you in advance, Ben. So take it away. This is all about another way of funding space startups. Yes. Take it away. Here's the clicker. Okay.
Yes, so come from Luleå. We were quite a small company, bunch of youths, we didn't know much, but we always wanted to build a company, and it's tough. Space is tough, everyone knows. Being an entrepreneur is hard, but space industry is like really hard. And up in northern Sweden, in Luleå, we do a lot of snowmobiling. I do a lot. I drive around, and I always drove by that piece of land, kind of swampy, quite ugly, but I had a vision to build a space center there. A lot of antennas, like in the movies, hundreds of them, mission control, all of it. And today we are getting there. So we have not reached 100 antennas, but probably more, a little bit more antennas than S-range, which is quite cool. And we compete on a really large scale of the cases, guys. Sometimes it feels sometimes nice to be on the top of the game. And but it is difficult when you live in Luleå. There's no venture capital. It is quite a challenge. So today I will talk a little bit about bootstrapping. So how we started this company without venture capital. Not really any major loans. Of course there were some convertibles, but I call it lunch money. Use it. It's quickly gone. When I came out of university, out of ESA, first time I realized salaries cost a lot of money, a company, so you have to work a lot. And so when we started this company, it's all about, you have an idea, and the idea, you have to refine it, rethink it, you have to improve it, so until it eventually becomes a vision, and you do it over and over again. But an idea is just nothing, really. Everyone has an idea. So you need to have a business case. So bring the idea, think about it. How can you make revenue? What costs do you have? Who are your customers? Who are your partners? All of that. But this is just a lot of work, and incubators and others really help you with that. But then, of course, you need to go to the market. You need to verify that somehow. Is my idea, is my business case, is it actually good enough? What you need to do is go to conferences, buy market reports, research, and talk a lot. We talk a lot with stakeholders, talk with customers, talk with partners. Just talk. And I think very often you need to be really good in receiving feedback. Because when I talk with friends, when I talk with other startups, I see very often that a lot of companies really go immediately into defense. When they pitch to you and you respond and you give feedback, it's defense. No, this is my idea. This is how I want to do it. But receiving feedback is something really important for us that we had to do to refine that. And the most important thing is what comes out of that is, so how can I translate my idea or later my vision into scalable economic value, some real product. And just as a little bit here, Christina is a big anarchic business here. I mean, it was quite a journey we had 5 years ago, slush, pitching, talking a lot. And how often did we change the contract with Isabik? 2 times, 2 CCNs, so we had to always change a little bit and always follow the money from A to B. Always, again, back to talking, iterating this whole thing over and over again. And, but yeah, if there's no money, or, you just come, those a girl, 2 young dudes, and you go to major banks, SEB or Swedbank and others, they're not giving you money. So that's not going to work. So you have to look for partners, and partners are probably the most important aspect in our daily business. And it's all about, you pitch to a potential partner company the same way almost as you pitch to a venture capitalist or somebody giving you a loan. You need to convince them to work with you. And you need to create some kind of a deal which is really beneficial for both of you. So not just, hey, I want to do some revenue sharing. You need to be really crystal clear on how are you guys going to work together in the long term and what is the big outcome of that. So as you saw, this space center we built, that was picture 21, I think. We had the next to this swampy property was a data center. At that time it was Fort Lux data center, now it's Eco data center, and I think it will be sold again. So, but the point is those guys had all what we needed. They had a massive data processing facility, security, all the fiber, all the cooling, all the power, all of it available. We didn't have to do anything. But what we had to do, we had to convince the data center operator. They're tough. They have ISO 276 cybersecurity standard and others. We had to convince them that we can pull fiber cables from our facility, from all the antennas, through their ground into the data center. And that's not easy. But we had to pitch and talk until we were convinced. And today, for them, we are the most important customer in PETA, and they're our most important partner. And without that synergy, it would have never happened, that type of business. There are also international partnerships, because having just a supplier is not enough. So we had certainly tried to work a lot, and we talked about Nordic partnerships, so we tried to work with ground station companies here in Sweden and others, but it didn't really come to something. So but it was pretty much me, so I realized, well, they don't want to work with me, or with us, so what can we do? The competitor of our competitor is our friend. So it was as simple as that, opening LinkedIn, write a message to those Viasat people and say, guys, should we partner up, putting up a large antenna system in PETA? We have a partner, we have the data center, we have all of it available, we did it. And that's how we went step by step by step, from partner to partner, from project to project. And what happened then, Viasat endorsed us, new customers came in, step by step by step. And everyone talks about the teams, same as venture capital when you pitch, but it is absolutely true, it's all about a team. You need the right people, you need the right competence, and don't be greedy when it comes always to equity. Be prepared to really give up equity, because you can be the smartest guy in the world, but this entire business is a lot about having the right networks, knowing the right people, and sometimes you need to really give up a chunk of your own equity to achieve what we achieved. So be ready to get the right people on board, and be then really clear on what roles do you need and what responsibilities you want to define. That's us. For the co-founders, after all that stuff, we almost own 90% of the company, so we are doing quite well. Fredrik is a former SSE vice president. Sandra and me a couple, so quite interesting. We started as kind of a family company, but then outgrew this family flair. And Felix is somebody else who met at the European Space Agency, who was kind of the working horse. German, really detailed, doing an amazing job, and is sometimes really interesting to work with him. Yeah. And something I just want to add here, when you do Bootstrap, it is all about reputation. So please always, if somebody wants to try the same thing, if somebody knocks on your door, needs your help, if it's a small project, never say no. We started working with ClearSpace, more like on ground segment consulting services, had nothing to do with the Space Center, but we worked because we needed to also gain a reputation. We need to get it. We need to just get out onto the market and also learn. And and that's what we did, step by step by step, from project to project, until slowly, more and more, we found more and more customers. And I really want to say that we don't go to booths on the conference. We don't really spend so much money there, because for us, we have learned that the word of mouth is stronger than any conference. People talk about behind the curtains about you, they endorse you, somebody calls you, and then you be doing more and more business. And that's what we see all the time. And yes, when you do that, please don't forget about yourself. You can't always and forever live on rice and pasta and noodle. It's you need to start paying yourself a salary. Keep that always in mind. And yeah, post revenue, that's where we are right now. Sometimes just saying you're being a startup is not the best thing. Again, it comes back if you talk to banks, or if you talk now to larger institutes or European Space Agency and others, being a startup is not always a good thing. So yeah, the space industry is small. and all of us, we're going to probably run into each other again, more or less. And what we learned is, if you want to really play with the big ones, you need to drop. You need to stop. Okay, I was a startup, I did well, but now I'm a scale-up. So I'm doing bigger, I want to do better, and put in a business unit. And if you find somebody helping you, go ahead. And put up a long-term strategy at that time. So outgrow this startup, this bootstrap. It's very important. If you don't, you're always going to be doing small little projects, small little contracts. That's the hard part. And all of that comes naturally success. We're in the news over and over again, and I think we have much more to come very soon. We're scaling up, new business, new people, new strategy. Yes, that's it. 5 minutes left. So.
Super. Can I ask you